Good morning, Willowbrook. Today's devotional is on Philippians chapter 1. Philippians is one of my favorite books in the Bible to study. That's because the overall theme is on how to live a joyous Christian life, and we all want that. Paul is imprisoned and he is writing to the church that he had started about 10 years earlier in Philippi. This was the first church in Europe. The first half of the chapter, Paul is sending thanks to the church for all their support and gifts while he is in prison. He's also giving them praise for their love and their prayers, and he's letting them know that he is continually praying for them. In verse 6, he says, being confident of this, that he who started a good work in you will continue it until the day of the Lord. The second half of the chapter, Paul is speaking about his imprisonment, his prospective outcome, and he's encouraging them in their walk with Christ. Verse 12 tells us that what has happened to him may seem really bad. Let's call it the fortune of misfortune, but God has turned it into a very positive thing. He says that although he is in chains, that he is able to preach to all of his captors, and that because of his change, all the brothers in the Lord have become more courageous and fearless. That's powerful. Paul is in prison, he's in chains, he's in poverty, he's endured beatings and illness, yet through it all, he's learned to be content. The source of that contentment is knowing Jesus. After all, Paul did write the books of Ephesians, Philippians, and Colossians, 3 great books in the New Testament while he was in prison. This is a great example of how God can take any situation and turn it into something that will bring glory to him. Chapter 1 ends with Paul encouraging them concerning practical matters in the church like humility and unity. He warns them about Judaizers. Judaizers who are people who preach the right message for all the wrong reasons. Well, Paul says as long as the right message, the message of Christ, is getting out, he's okay with that. He'll let the Lord deal with their reasoning later. And then he gives them instructions on how to live a joyous Christian life worthy of the gospel. So the question is, how do we stand firm in the middle of our struggles? Paul's answer is that we are to stand firm together. The problem with struggles is not only does it keep us from doing God's work, but it also makes us less willing to look out for each other. Well, at the end of the chapter, Paul answers that. He says we can all look out for each other because God is always looking out for us. Have a great day, Willowbrook.